Welcome to the Backlot 605 podcast. This is episode number 55, as you can see by our fancy clapperboard.
They can't see the clapperboard. It's in the background.
It's there. You can probably see it if you're watching this. If not, thank you for listening, and goodbye. No, I'm your host. I am Casey Kelderman.
I'm Brian Mensing.
And today we're going to be doing a fun little episode. Actually not. This is going to be really off the cuff. We're going to do our usual stuff, and then we'll maybe talk about Thanksgiving movies, because there's two.
Because, we don't think of anything.
Yeah. We'll talk about some of our Thanksgiving traditions and maybe some of the movies we're going to go watch this year on Thanksgiving.
Or what? Who knows? Who knows what will happen?
But I want to start this off with a debate, and
What's
it has not movie related. What is the? So we record this here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Plug right there, shameless plug, like McFoley. I can't ever say it like Andy the fat dude. His is perfect the way he says it on the podcast.
How's
From
that?
Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
South Dakota.
Yeah, Andy, I love that every time you say it. So thank you for doing that.
Let's have him do the intro from now on.
Yes, please do. We're gonna settle this. What is the best pizza in Sioux Falls?
The best pizza.
Casey's Pizza.
Casey's Pizza? You think so?
And we're from South Dakota. Not only are we on meth, that's still a joke, but we eat pizza from gas stations, and we think it's the best. But I legitimately think Casey's Pizza is the best.
I think you're biased.
Just because it's my name?
Yes.
Or because it's from Iowa?
Because it's Casey's.
Either way, yes.
Yes, and to speak of Casey's in Iowa, it's like Starbucks. You can't go more than like 3 blocks before hitting another one. And
Actually, my hometown doesn't have a Casey's.
How's that My sister lives in a town of like 500 people and has a Casey's.
I know.
You're weird.
I know. What's the best pizza in Sioux Falls?
For gas station pizza? Casey's.
That's all we eat here. We eat at gas stations. That's all we do in South Dakota.
Casey's or Domino's for me.
Domino's has gotten a lot better.
Domino's is better since they reinvented themselves a few years back.
Yes, and they had their fancy cars that I don't think we have here. I don't know.
No, we don't have the fancy cars.
Nope. All right, so that settles the debate. Let us know, what is your favorite pizza place in South Dakota if you're from here. If not, let us know what South Dakota needs for pizza places, because I think we're lacking.
Good Chicago DiGiorno.
Chicago-style pizza.
And all of a sudden the name is escaping me. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Deep dish pizza. Oh, yeah.
From Old Chicago?
No, oh God, no, that was disgusting.
Old Chicago's all right. It was just because of the fact it was the only Chicago-style pizza place in Sioux Falls.
And even then it was subpar.
It was a chain restaurant, that's for sure.
Yes.
Anyway, let's
talk about movies. Let's talk about why people are listening.
We are going to do a spin-off on a pizza podcast. That's what it's going to be called, the Pizza Podcast.
The Pizza Podcast?
I guarantee there's one already called the Pizza Podcast.
Oh, probably.
Yeah. We'll do a Casey's Pizza Podcast someday. But let's do what we usually do. We talk about movies here, so let's get into it. We're going to kick it off with the box office. Number 1 this week, no surprise at all, Frozen 2, $127 million.
I still think the estimates might even come in higher than that. Or not the estimates, the actuals come in. I think they'll probably come in slightly higher, I bet.
Yeah, and either way, this made a lot of money.
Frozen was going to make a lot. I didn't see this coming at all.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Disney's going to control the box office through the rest of the year, and that's the story.
Disney.
Frozen will hold it probably until Star Wars comes out, and then Star Wars will hold it through mid-January.
Give or take.
Probably.
There's still a couple other good solid ones in there, though, too. We still have Jumanji in there, too, outside of the Disney. But I was recently...
Maybe takes 1 week, yeah.
Maybe. But I was also looking at the Disney slate here, and based on what we got coming out next year, and as everything continues to progress, if they continue the slate for the sake of December, Disney's going to own December for the next 7 years.
Because it's alternating Star Wars and Avatar pretty much?
Starting in 2021, but next year, this time around, they're going to have like Cruella coming out and a couple of those other live actions that are going to be coming out and whatnot too. So, no, I mean, before we even get into the Avatar, Star Wars, flip-flop everything and whatnot. So if the Star Wars train keeps going as well as the Avatar train keeps going, we won't see a Disney topping December until at least the end of the next decade.
Yeah, I think Disney's going to leave the comic book movies in the summer and then try to take it in the winter, in December, Christmas time with their own properties now, including Avatar.
Marvel will probably get like between a September to November range, like what Thor Ragnarok
Yeah, they get
was.
November. They like the November and February, right between the two.
Yep, and then like May, like type of frame too, if they're gonna get their 3 in.
Yep. So number 1, Frozen 2. Yeah, I mean, no surprise here. I mean, the first one is still as popular as it was then. So now we got 5 more years to let it go, Brian. 5 more years.
Let it go.
Is that like the groundhog seeing its shadow? Like if we get a new Frozen movie, Let It Go goes on for 5 more years.
Oh no.
Yes.
So we're gonna get a Frozen 3.
We're gonna get a Frozen 3. Let It Go 3. I don't know. Number 2 this week, Ford v Ferrari, $16 million.
Hey,
Make sure it's V.
Hey, considering what's going up against, I don't think this is actually a bad number, to be honest.
No, this is a very good second weekend out for Ford v Ferrari. Yeah, I mean, if you're not the Disney animated Frozen family film type, yeah, you're gonna go probably watch Ford versus Ferrari.
Yeah, oh, definitely. I mean, it looks spectacular. It deserves to be right exactly where it's at.
Check out our review on backlot605.com right now.
Right now.
Yes. Number 3 this week.
Wait, not right now. Wait until you're done with the episode. Then
do both at the same time. Multitask.
That is too much work.
Number 3, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, which we messed up in the title last week.
Yep, we're sorry, Mr.
Too many Mr. Rogers movies at once.
We're sorry, Mr. Tom Hanks, America's Dad. He's probably upset at us.
I know he listens to this, so I feel bad. Sorry, Tom.
He'd send us to our room and be like, you screwed it up.
I still love you, but you're going to have to sit in your room for the rest of the night. But I still love you. $13.5 million for A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Pretty good opening weekend for this film.
And again, for a biopic, to go up against Frozen, to go up against the heavy hitter that Ford v Ferrari was, I'd say this is a very good solid. I mean, compared to other biopics that have come out earlier this year, it's not great, but I don't think that's not what they were shooting for anyway.
Yeah, I mean, they were banking on, 1, the Mr. Rogers name, 2, the star power of Tom Hanks, and I think this is right where you probably think it's going to end up, especially with what it's going up against. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Ford vs. Ferrari is getting rave reviews. It's getting some Oscar buzz, at least for Bale and Damon. Frozen 2 is just obviously a monster. So, yeah, I think he's sitting at number 3, $13.5 million. Pretty good opening weekend for the movie.
Do you see any nomination possibility out of Tom Hanks for this?
He'll be in talks. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie, for one.
I haven't seen it yet, but at the same time, too, from what I've seen from the previews and his work into doing this and whatnot, it looks very solid. I was reading here just earlier this last week and goes to find out that he is related to Mr. Rogers. So maybe it's part of the genetic gene that makes him be able to be an amazing Mr. Rogers.
A nice guy.
He is America's Dad.
I'm going to look what this comes up under. Biography drama, do you think it could fall under comedy?
No.
No?
No.
I don't know. I haven't watched the movie, but I'm just thinking of that in terms of Golden Globes, because I think he could get a Globe nom out of this. I mean, there has to be some humor in it. It's Mr. Rogers. It's Tom Hanks.
This is true, but
The Martian got nominated for Best Comedy.
Yeah, but that was also those UK people just are weird like that.
No, that's just us that are. We need to nominate The Martian, but we don't want to put it in drama. Well, it's a comedy or musical.
There was too many nominations. Well, we got to get it in there somehow.
Got to get Matt Damon in there somehow.
Matt Damon.
All right. Yeah, I think if anything, probably Globe nom for Tom Hanks. Maybe in the running for Best Actor. We'll see. Number 4, 21 Bridges, $9.3 million opening for this Chadwick Boseman-led movie.
I don't know what to think about this.
The movie or the box office?
Maybe a little bit of both, because when I literally hear them talk about the Chadwick Boseman's character, there's a line in the trailer that I saw where they talk about him being a superhero. I'm like, please tell me that was not for the sake of him being Black Panther. Like, we have a throwaway line we need to throw in here.
They're trying to bank on that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure they are. That's probably where this $9.3 million came from.
But because
let's go watch Black Panther in a new action movie.
Right. I It looks good, but it's not something I was going to jump to go see. I believe Jameson did go see it, and he really enjoyed it. Said it was really good, solid flick.
Yeah, from what I've heard, it's getting pretty decent reviews, but I think it's just a fact of all of a sudden there's too much in the theater to go watch.
No.
We're in that time frame where Frozen 2 is gonna soak up all the extra theaters. Not every theater is gonna carry 21 Bridges.
So what you're saying is we're in the time of the year in the box office where it's like the studio's Black Friday, where they try to push all that shit at the end to try to make money for the rest of the year.
Yeah, pretty much. We gotta get it in before the taxes.
Before the taxes.
Number 5, Midway, opening, and it's what?
Third week.
Third week?
Third
Still
week.
sticking in the top 5. $4.7 million.
Went from second to fifth.
Which, I mean, there's 3 new opening movies. I think that makes sense. So, but still, I mean, top 5 yet for this movie. I've heard no buzz about it. Zero.
No, not really.
Like, I don't know anyone that went and saw it. I haven't heard any reviews really on it, period.
Nobody's really talking about it.
No, and I don't know how it's still making this money. Is it the senior citizen audience? I'm not saying that joking. Like, I literally think, like, okay, Boomer, go watch Midway.
Well, maybe they'd enjoy it.
I guess it's already knocking out my boy Dr. Sleep out of the theater, so I can't even watch it in its third week out.
Who says this is what not?
I blame Midway.
You blame Midway?
I blame Midway.
No.
Yeah. Well, no, I blame studio problems. Lots of studio problems with that.
What?
Like release date it's a terrible release. Dr. Sleep. It should have came out before Halloween. Should have came out a week after the 4K release of The Shining. Would only made sense. They did a special thing in the theater for like 1 night only or 2 nights only or something like that for The Shining.
You're just upset.
I am upset, but it sucks because I've heard nothing but great things about Dr. Sleep, and I've heard nothing about Midway.
And it's all because Frozen and Disney needs all the screen time, so they're like, well, our particular theater's like, who can go? Who's going to stay?
Yeah, let's kick out the horror movie. Let's keep the Boomer movie.
Well, the
Roland Emmerich Boomer movie.
From a theater standpoint, I'm not going to argue say that.
No,
I get
can't.
it.
I feel bad though. I do. I'm like, if I haven't gone to watch it yet, I think I'm the problem.
You are the problem.
I feel like I'm to blame.
You are to blame.
I'm putting all the weight of Dr. Sleep failing on my shoulders. I had nothing to do with the movie.
You should.
I'm just a lowly guy who does a podcast here in South Dakota.
You do. I'm gonna tweet Mike Flanagan.
My boy, no,
It's
please
all
don't.
your fault.
Mike, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. You're my favorite director working today, and I love you. And I like your pizza Instagram.
Yeah, it's a pizza Instagram.
Yeah, go to his Instagram. It's all pictures of pizza, no matter what. Even when he's promoting Dr. Sleep, it's
That is
pictures
amazing.
of pizza. Yeah. Go check out Mike Flanagan. That's a plug, I guess, for his Instagram. All right.
Go plug the man.
All right. That's been the box office for the week. Let us know your thoughts on that. Do you think Frozen 2 will continue to be number 1 next week? The answer is yes.
Yeah. I was going to say, I'm looking behind you, and I'm like, is there anything really that's going to be able to...
What do you think? Knives Out, number 2?
Ooh, I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be a good, solid film, but it's not gonna be everybody's cup of tea. I don't know.
Ford v Ferrari is gonna be in its 3rd week out.
I think it's gonna have a little bit of problem trying to crack those top 2 because it's certainly not gonna take top 1.
No,
the top prize.
I'll go Frozen 2 probably, and then Knives Out, then Ford v Ferrari.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see next week. Let us know your thoughts on the box office. Let's move to the news. We got a little bit of the rumor mill is churning here in the DC universe.
Ooh.
Joker 2 and another DC origin movie is rumored to be coming from director Todd Phillips, who helmed this year's Joker movie.
So DC's like, hey, this Todd Phillips guy made us a lot of money with Joker. Let's give him another origin movie.
Yeah, they're like, we're not going to make a sequel to this. We're not going to be worried about that. $1 billion later, yeah, we're going to make a sequel, and Todd can do whatever other movie he wants to do for us.
Now, the question is the rumor mill said that whether or not Todd Phillips is on board with this yet, or not. So like when the movie first released, even before the 1 billion, Joaquin basically went on record and said, "Hey, this is one of those dream roles I didn't know I was gonna want. I absolutely loved it." Because when they first talked about it, he's like, "This would be the first and only time Joaquin Phoenix has ever done a sequel." To the point where he enjoyed this role so much, he's like, "Yeah, I'm willing to come back to that." But Todd Phillips,
He's not going to be in Gladiator 2?
no, please, no.
Yes.
But Todd Phillips went on the record at that same time saying, "Nope, it's standalone, not happening." Whatever the case is, if Todd Phillips is on board, then that tells me the Warner Brothers is banking on another hit, which easily can happen, and they're throwing more money at Todd, where he's like, "I can't say no."
Yeah, I mean, both Todd Phillips and Joaquin said, no, this is a standalone movie. We're not planning any sequels. We're not doing anything like that. But now, after the success of it, Joaquin will probably get an Oscar nom out of it. They made $1 billion off it. Like, yeah, we do have ideas for sequels. We'd like to both do it, you know. Of course you would. You made $1 billion off this movie. So, I mean, if we're going to end up getting a Joker 2, what I would like to see is honestly if they did
Penguin?
The Penguin.
Yeah.
No, I want to do, if they do another Joker movie, just do a straight up different origin for the Joker, but have Joaquin play the Joker.
Why what?
Yep. So Joker
This is why you don't make movies.
So don't do this Joker again with the same look and the same Arthur Fleck. Don't do that Joker. Do a different Joker, and it's just a different origin. You can get at least 3 movies out of that. And let Joaquin, he can be a completely different character again. I think that would be cool. They're not going to do it.
Todd Phillips, don't listen to him. He does not know what he's talking about. I apologize in advance.
Let me know if you want to see that type of Joker movie. Because I don't want to see another further origin. We got the origin. What's he going to do next?
Exactly. We want to know what he's going to do next.
We already know what he does next. Batman fights him and he gets thrown into Arkham.
We don't know that yet.
I want another different origin.
Batman's still a kid. Batman's still Bruce.
Batman is... then just do a Batman movie if you're going to put
We
Batman
are doing
in.
a Batman movie.
But if you're going to do a Joker sequel with Batman, just make it Batman. Because I don't want to root for the Joker against Batman. I mean, if he, I guarantee they're not going to do this, Brian.
No, they're not, because they're smarter than that.
No, I mean, people are still going to go watch it. They didn't know this Joker. It's just the fact that you have Joker.
I just mean is same people, different movie. I'm like, this isn't an episode of, American Horror Story.
Make it happen. Make it happen. Yeah, I mean, the rumor is also that he's going to get another DC origin movie. You would assume it's just probably another Batman villain.
That would make
That's
sense.
what I'm guessing. Like a Penguin or the Riddler, or
especially
something
especially if him and DC attempt to try to make a universe out of this.
Oh, don't. Please don't.
Well, not in the same respects of like DCEU, but in the terms of like, for instance, like the universe that like say Christopher Nolan built with his Batman trilogy, is you had underlining characters and everything like that merged between the different movies and whatnot to be like they're taking place in the same time frame and everything like that, but maybe it's completely standalone, like say Shazam and like Aquaman, Wonder Woman, it's part of the same part of it, but not necessarily going to have interjection.
Nah, I would still like something completely different. Do like I don't know, do something weird. Do like Clayface. Like do something weird like that, or Mad Hatter. Like do a weird Batman character and give him an origin that's dark.
Oh, that's easy enough.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I don't know. That's I mean, it was inevitable that Joker 2 was going to happen, and we'll see if it ends up being true of Todd Phillips helming another DC origin movie. I think if anything, he'll probably do Joker 2 and then be like an executive producer on another origin thing.
Maybe.
That's, I think, how it'll probably go.
So, since we're talking Batman. I'm gonna skip a couple lines here and say that we have our oh wow, I'm spitting all over my computer screen.
Carmine Falcone.
Carmine Falcone has been cast for the Batman, played by John Turturro. And I'm okay with this. I did see a couple things on Reddit where people were like, this is just getting too full of villains, da-da-da-da-da. Carmine is one of those ones where, yes, he's a Batman villain per se, but it's not to say it's going to be it's not going to be part of the arc. It could be a background character, but you still want to be able to establish an established face That way, if we go past the Batman, we have something to work with. To if he's going to create his Batman universe, maybe.
Yeah, I think if Turturro takes this role, I think it'll be a very small role. He'll maybe have 1 or 2 scenes, and that'll be it, type of thing. But I think
He totally looks like the gangster too.
yeah, I think. But in this case, I'm like, I'd rather see John Turturro play the Penguin. Like, if you're gonna put the named person, like, people recognize John Turturro's face. Obviously, they know who he is. He's been in Transformers, Big Lebowski, some big movies, and then it's like, why not make him Penguin? Don't give him the small Carmine Falcone role.
No,
I think we're getting too many faces in this that might take people out of it that you recognize from other things.
I don't
Cast a little more unknown for some of these smaller parts.
I don't think so, because of the people that we've cast so far. It's not like, and this isn't to take away from the actors that have been cast and their talents and whatnot. But like, if you consider like what person we would cast in a movie that would be the box office draw, right? I.e., Robert Pattinson as the Batman. He's got a name for himself. It's something that we can kind of grasp onto. But like everybody that's been kind of cast into, somebody goes, oh, I'm going to this movie because it's starring Paul Dano. It's starring Zoe Kravitz. That kind of.
Is anyone going to see this because it's starring Robert Pattinson?
Because it's Batman.
I think, yeah, I'm like, the Batman.
But what I'm saying though is like John Turturro, though he is an amazing actor and everything like that. It's very. When is the last time we saw a movie that the first name on the bill was John Turturro? It has faces.
Jesus.
It has face. But that's not even opening up period. The first place it even premieres is Italy, which is weird as hell.
It'll go straight to VOD.
I don't care. I want to see that so bad. But what I'm saying is that, you're like, hey, we're going to go see this movie. The first one on the bill is not usually John Turturro. That's not usually the draw. So there hasn't been enough names where I'm worried that name is going to deter from everything else.
My only problem is then you add Colin Farrell in there, and
that's like the closest one so far for the rumor mill. Because
I'd just rather see John Turturro play like the Penguin or something. I think he's a really good character actor, and I think having him as the Penguin be a better fit. I mean, Carmine Falcone, he's not gonna be the main villain. He'll have, like I said, 1 or 2 scenes. And I think most of it is I want to see more of him. I want to see more of John Turturro.
We don't know what Matt Reeves has up his sleeve.
He's gonna be like, Carmine Falcone is the big baddie for the Batman movie.
You don't know. We don't know yet.
It'll be the Penguin or the Riddler.
I guess we'll see.
All right, let's move to the next piece of news that we got here. We got some things going on in the Universal Monster realm.
Yes, because we know how well that's been going.
Well, I mean, they're trying to turn the wheel here. They're trying to make it a little better.
I was like, shouldn't Universal wait until the Invisible Man comes out first?
I think they're banking pretty hard now on Invisible Man being like their big hit, their big kickoff.
They were banking on Tom Cruise and The Mummy too.
Well, that was the mistake on their part because that movie sucked, and
I'm saying that
having a movie star like Tom Cruise being part of it, that was the first bad thing.
I'm still appreciating the fact that they're going. I agree, the correct route on how they want this to come to fruition with Lee Winnell doing the movie and everything like that. But at the same time too, it's like Universal needs to pump their brakes and make sure they have an established universe, if you will, before you start getting into it. Before you're like because
I think what I want them to do is do more like what you were talking about, the Wonder Woman, Shazam, Aquaman thing, where they're in the same universe, but they don't need to set up a big Avengers type of movie,
right?
Or have crossover in every movie. It's more of this is all the same world, different things are happening in different spots.
I guess we'll see.
The rumor is, this comes from Variety, this first part, is that Rocketman director Dexter Fletcher is attached to direct Renfield, a monster movie centered on Dracula's henchmen and based on an original pitch from Robert Kirkman of The Walking Dead.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know what to think of this.
I like having Robert Kirkman attached. He's definitely a story-driven individual when it comes to his Walking Dead comics. He wrote those in the aspect of, yes, they're zombie comics, but it's more of how are these people living and how are these people cooperating and just being human beings in the zombie apocalypse. So I like that idea. I don't understand. So it's not on Dracula. It's on Dracula's minions kind of thing. Like, what is the point here?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested in it. I think the thing that
You're
they're
interested in because it's horror movie.
no, well, yeah, but I think I'm interested in it because it looks like this new take on the Universal monsters is going to be creator driven. Like Lee Winnell's Invisible Man is written and directed by Lee Winnell. It's
Right.
his story. It's his idea that he had that he pitched to Universal. I think Universal is hopefully going that route with some of these things, and we'll get to one of the next stories here too. But if this is going to be a passion project for like Robert Kirkman has wanted to do a Renfield movie, go for it, and then maybe it leads into a Dracula movie or vice versa. Like maybe if they don't want to do Renfield right away, they'll do Dracula and make Renfield a big character in it. I don't know. I think this is at least an interesting take that it's not we're going to do Dracula again after we've done Dracula a million times in different iterations. Maybe
So-
they want to take a little bit of a different approach to this.
So we cast Luke Evans as Dracula.
I like Dracula Untold. So yes, I'm in. I'm listening. I'm listening.
Not everybody agrees with you.
I know they don't agree with me.
I was like, oh, that's right. They tried that.
It's
once,
the best
didn't
Universal monster movie since the Mummy with Brendan Fraser.
they? Yeah, he needs to get back into business.
Do another Mummy movie. Cross that over with Dracula Untold. Make that your Universal monsters.
Right?
I would watch that. I would watch that.
Yeah, get Brendan Fraser into The Mummy. I mean, you already have a built-in audience right there.
Bring The Rock back. Why not?
No, screw the Scorpion King bullshit. No.
The Rock's a movie star. He'd do it.
I mean, just you reboot the whole Mummy franchise, but still bring Brendan Fraser back. You can get him into this little weird universe thing they're trying to build.
I think the Mummy will stay buried for a little while. I don't think they're going to be bringing that back until people get the sour taste of the Tom Cruise movie out of their mouth. Because that was just
probably right.
a disaster. That was, yeah, I read some and listened to some behind-the-scenes stuff on that. That was a movie basically written and directed by Tom Cruise.
Well,
With, like, him telling the writers what to write and the director what to do.
well, when you're Universal and you're Tom Cruise and you're like, I'm going to do them that way.
I'm going to do it the Tom Cruise way. I'm going to end up being a monster at the end, guys. Yeah, I'm going to be a monster.
Why not?
What monster? I don't know. I'm just going to be a monster.
What are you going to be, monster? Look at me.
Look at me. I'm 55 years old and I look like this.
I'm 55 and I still look like I'm 30.
I'm part of Scientology. I'm already a monster.
I was about to say leave politics. That's not politics.
No, that's crazy people.
Oh, I forgot to take that picture. When I went to when I went to the cities to go see Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, right across the street, like a 3-story Church of Scientology. I was like,
Did you visit?
I didn't have to. It was literally right there. It was kitty corner. And I didn't have to visit. It was just monstrous, all right there, pun intended.
Monstrous, like the Mummy.
Like the Mummy.
All right, let's move to this next little piece of Universal Monster movie news. It's rumored that James Wan might be helming a Frankenstein movie.
What, Lee Winnell gets all nice and good and with, starts making this really good Invincible Man movie, and he's like, hey, I know a guy. I hear he does...
I got my buddy. He likes horror movies, too.
He might know a good thing or two about some horror movies. I may have made one or two of them with him.
He's pretty good. You might know him. James Wan.
He made some big movies that made like billions of dollars, like Furious 7 as well. So he does more than just horror
Aquaman.
movies. Aquaman. You may have heard of him.
Yeah, I think this is just a rumor right now. We don't know if this is actually going to be in production or pre-production at all.
This is the kind of rumor that I picture that if people put, hey, James and Lee have worked with each other and know each other since they've been, as long as they've known each other, that I picture someone going, which one hasn't been talked about yet? And let's literally throw something on the internet and it sticks. So until something really starts to come out, this would be one of those kind of rumors where I'm just like, I want to hear right from James kind of thing.
Take this with a grain of salt. But if it's true, I'm all for it. I think this is
It's a very good cohesion of character and director.
yeah. I think and if they want to go the route of continuing the Universal Monster universe, have James and Lee be the ones behind it. Have them be the Kevin Feige's of it all.
Right.
Yeah. Let them do it. I think they know their horror pretty well.
You think they made some successful franchises or something?
Yeah, a couple of them between the two. Yeah, and I think this is, I mean, adding James, his directing style, his sense of dread that he puts into his films like The Conjuring, and I think Insidious is just a fantastic horror movie, and I like Insidious more than The Conjuring even. But besides the point, I think having James do a monster movie would be really cool.
He already did a monster movie once, but it was called Saw.
That's not a monster. That's more of a slasher movie.
I know.
Yeah, yeah. I think he's done slasher movies, supernatural horror movies. I think having him he did a revenge movie. Having him do
Death Sentence.
Yeah, that movie rules.
When I pictured James Wan and Kevin Bacon, I'm like, I don't know if I needed this, but I'm so glad this exists.
Yeah, that movie is super underrated, especially in James Wan's filmography. Yeah, and having him do a monster movie, it's just the next logical step. He's doing a Giallo next. Like, I think he's trying to connect all the pieces of horror together now. He's like, I want to just do one of each subgenre. I want to do supernatural, I want to do a slasher, I want to do a Giallo movie, I want to do a monster movie now.
Why not?
So let him do it.
I already did a superhero movie.
Yeah, so let him do it all. He wants to do a superhero monster movie, though, too. But trench thing.
The only other thing that would give me, outside of saying something directly from Juan that this is happening, is obviously with Furious 7, James already has a working relationship with Universal, and it made them a buttload of money. Mm-hmm. So
just don't cast Jason Momoa as the monster.
Not as Frankenstein, no.
Be sexy Frankenstein. There it is. That's the pitch. That's all he went in. It's like, all right, guys, I made Aquaman. I'm good friends with Momoa now. Sexy Frankenstein. Drops the mic, leaves the room. The executives are,
nope.
That's it.
Nope. We need The Rock with that hair from the picture from like the 20 years ago, whatever it was, that everybody makes fun of. Because he's already got the hair in the picture, so they just got to give him the hair. He's already built like a tank. No,
not The Rock.
The Rock.
Some unknown actor. Just make it super practical, like you did with the Boris Karloff movies. Get some random guy from overseas, some bodybuilder.
But do we make it around the monster, or do we make it around Frankenstein?
You got to do both. I mean, you make it about Dr. Frankenstein's descent into madness, and then you have to have the monster be a pretty vital part. That's going to be the monster will be the poster.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, if this ends up happening, I'm all for it. So we'll keep you updated on the James Wan Frankenstein rumors. Let's jump to our last pieces.
I'm all over it.
Last pieces of news here. We got a couple trailers. I got to ask you first. Did you watch the Call of the Wild trailer?
No.
Okay, neither do I. So we're not. I watched 15 seconds of it, and I saw the dog. I'm like, yeah, I'm out.
You saw the dog?
Yeah.
Why, they kill a dog or something?
No, they don't kill. Have you ever read Call of the Wild?
No.
Okay, so I read that as a kid in like elementary school. Yeah, but it's about a man and its dog, and the dog's completely CGI in the movie, and it looks worse than Scooby-Doo in 2002. That's a little sarcasm, but not much better.
I don't know how to respond to this.
Yes, yeah, I don't. No, I'm already out. The CGI took me out within the first 15 seconds of the trailer. I'm not going to sit through a 2-hour movie of it.
Why would you? Okay, maybe explain to me, because if I did read this book in elementary school, I don't remember whatever the case is, but I would imagine that the dog is a very significant part of the story, correct?
Yes.
Why not use
an actual dog?
Right. We have so many dog movies that have come out in the last 10 years. I think Dennis Quaid is in like half of them.
Well,
but wouldn't you just use a regular dog?
Well, yeah, I think part of it is probably they don't want to get in trouble because it's all about survival in the cold, and they don't want to have to put maybe a dog through that. Which, I mean, get more than one dog.
Right?
It's like you're already putting old man Harrison Ford through it. A dog can get through it.
Yeah. He's insurance, and
he's an old dog too.
He's an old dog too. But I don't know I don't know what to think about that. I like how the fact that you're like, it looks worse than Scooby-Doo from 2002.
That's a little sarcasm, but it's
not far off.
It's so noticeable. It's bad. I don't know what they were thinking. It has a decent cast behind it. Like I said, Harrison Ford, Karen Gillan, Bradley Whitford's in it, Dan Stevens, who's just a movie star that needs to happen. Yeah, it has a good, decent cast behind it, but I think just having a CGI dog takes me out of it completely.
I just like the fact it's got Bradley Whitford in it.
Guarantee he's probably some sort of villain in it.
He's some sort of asshole. He's always...
Yeah, so I mean, we didn't watch Call of the Wild trailer. That comes out February of 2020, February 21. Yeah, I won't be in the theater for it. That's all I will say. Should we move on to the next trailer that we actually did watch?
Are you sure he's CGI?
He is very CGI. Yeah. Next trailer that we have
The one you did not know about until I told you about it.
No, I saw it. Well, I had seen it on the internet. I'm like, yeah, what okay, whatever. And then you said, I don't remember what you said. You said watch it or something like that. And yeah, it's the trailer for Antebellum.
60 seconds of what the heck am I gonna go see?
Okay,
and,
so
not even quoting is the fact that it's you see the trailer and you're just like I'm in.
From the producer of Get Out and Us.
Yeah. You know, the infamous tagline of, hey, we made these movies. We're not the guys that actually made the movies, but our studio made these movies.
Yeah. So just looking at the trailer itself, I didn't even pay attention to from the producers of Get Out and Us. I was just looking at what they showed me in the trailer. Mm-hmm. And there's the shot in the trailer where they're on the plantation and they look up in the sky and there's that airplane. I'm like, what? Because from that point forward, it's pretty much a period piece until you see that shot.
My understanding is it takes place during 2 periods of time. Because there is stuff that's modern day, but there is also stuff that is going to be your period, like your Civil War type of thing. Because, yeah, I mean, during the entire trailer, it sounds like the beginnings of a 911 call. That's pretty much the only thing that you hear outside of sound effects from the specific scenes. But it's supposed to be, my understanding is it's taking place in 2 different time periods. The other thing that really actually kind of threw me for a loop, and that's actually the biggest reason why I even clicked on it to even look at it in the first place, is I know that she's done acting before, but the fact that they are really showcasing that Janelle Monáe is the lead of this movie. Absolutely beautiful singer. And after watching the trailer, I really want to see this. Like, it just genuinely, it was 60 seconds of me going, I'm hooked. Even agree. Like, if you take out the fact that it's like from the producers of, because those are usually the ones where like, we made this bad movie and we just need to tie something to make you guys go.
Which I think that having Us and Get Out attached to it in some way looks good on the poster and the trailer, because you're going to get people that look at it, oh, Jordan Peele's got a new movie?
Well, that's what I mean, is you're looking at and you're just like, oh, that's going to be amazing, and you're like, no, not necessarily. It could be one of those producers you never heard of is just using his credit so he can sell another movie, but I legit think
it is. But yeah, just looking at the trailer, I think it looks kind of fascinating.
Yeah, I like it.
It honestly reminds me of like a Twilight Zone episode from what I saw in the trailer, which I'm like, make more horror movies like that. Make it it doesn't have to be a supernatural presence. Make it a Twilight Zone type of thing. I think that's just as scary as doing, a slasher movie or a supernatural movie. Do this weird time loop, time travel. I don't know what it's going to end up being. It's just I think doing more of those Twilight Zone style stories is going to be beneficial to horror movies going forward to separate themselves from being Fantasy Island.
Fantasy Island?
Yeah, so I mean, we also got the poster right before that. I think the poster looks terrible.
You don't like the poster?
No, I think it looks terrible. It's really generic.
Well, and that's one thing.
So you see this poster?
I did see the poster.
Okay, I'll pull up another one that it looks exactly like.
Because I like the simplicity of that poster. And I'm trying to find the producer that's attached to this. That is.
If I would have done the poster, I would have done like the Civil War era on the ground, and then you have the airplane in the sky.
Too confusing.
Well, exactly.
Hey, that says Before I Wake.
Yes, it looks exactly like that. It also looks like the Silence of the Lambs poster.
That's not even the same type.
It's just a butterfly on the poster, like that does nothing.
It does nothing for you.
Yeah, the trailer sold me. The poster did not. We'll leave it at that.
I'm trying to find the producer that's attached to this because I'm not.
Yeah, I tried looking it up too. I couldn't really find who it was. It's not Jason Blum. We know that.
No, I did find a Raymond Mansfield, who also did Black Klansman and The Messenger. So he does have some solid movies behind him for stuff that he's produced. So maybe.
Maybe. We'll see. I want to see it. I don't think there's a release date for it yet.
Hold on.
It just says 2020 from what I see on IMDb and on the poster.
As I say, it's in post.
Maybe the end of the trailer shows it. I don't remember.
You don't remember? How dare you not remember?
I didn't even watch the Call of the Wild trailer.
There it is, right here. IMDb says April 24th.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's pretty good release date for it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to check it out in the theater from what I saw in this trailer. Also, a good thing about it, it's only 60 seconds. Do more trailers that are only a minute long. We don't need 3-minute long trailers.
Well, at least not for your very first one.
I wouldn't do any that long. I think that's way too long. Do 60 seconds, you're in, you're out, boom. Sell them in that 60 seconds. Don't show them pretty much, the entire movie.
We could just run the whole movie in fast speed. Be like, here, we got it in 3 minutes.
There you go. You saw the movie.
Yep.
All right. So, yeah, that's been the news. What did you guys think of all this news? What are you most excited to see out of the pieces of news that we talked about? I'm assuming Joker 2.
Or what did we miss?
Yeah, did we miss anything? I think we got most of it, but let us know if we did miss anything. Let's move to our main topic.
Our main-ish.
We'll try. So yeah, we're going to be talking about Thanksgiving movies. We'll talk more about kind of what we do on Thanksgiving, maybe some of the movies that aren't necessarily set on Thanksgiving that we like to watch around this holiday.
How many people are watching Christmas movies by now?
A lot of people. They're already putting them out in the theater, so I think that's a big part of Thanksgiving, at least, going into the theaters. Last Christmas, we're looking at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thanksgiving movies. So, the only movies that I can think of that are actually set on Thanksgiving that I have seen, and one I haven't seen forever, is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that in a very long time. And then the other is the horror classic Thanksgiving.
I like how the fact that you have to use the word classic. Cause
it is not a classic. It's terrible.
It's and I even remember looking at this going, what Thanksgiving movies could we even remotely talk about? And I even prefaced that, it goes, and not Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And I have never seen this movie, but it was enough for me to have it come up right off the top of my head. I know you well enough. I was like, this is going to come up, and I don't want it.
Definitely coming up. Have you ever seen the movie Jack Frost? Not the Michael Keaton one.
No.
About the killer snowman.
Yes, I know which one you're talking about.
So Thanksgiving is pretty much
to forget it.
Thanksgiving is pretty much the Thanksgiving equivalent of Jack Frost.
I still want the Edgar Wright Thanksgiving. That was one of the fake trailers.
No, Eli Roth's Thanksgiving.
Was it Eli Roth?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Edgar Wright did Don't.
Yes.
Which, again, that one I want to see.
No, I do want to see the Eli Roth Thanksgiving. That is my favorite fake trailer out of those. I've seen. I one night I just sat and watched all the trailers from it. I'm like, which one of these do I want to see the most? Yep, Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, and I definitely think that the Edgar Wright one was definitely a what on earth did I just watch? It really has no context, but I think that obviously was half the point.
Yeah. So I think
yes, Thanksgiving by Eli Roth. I wish that Grindhouse would have done better for the box office that the studio wanted, because there was talk about doing a Grindhouse 2. But I mean, I get it. You're like, hey, we've got some of the big studio indie guys of Tarantino and Rodriguez, and those are two of the worst performing movies that either one of those have done. So I imagine that's exactly why the studio's like, okay, this whole Grindhouse thing, it thought it would work, but...
I mean, they've done 2 Machete movies. They did Hobo with a Shotgun. They've done the spin-offs. Let's do Thanksgiving.
Well, the Machete ones are a different bag, though, because
it's Robert
Rodriguez.
Yeah.
It's his own stuff. It was low budget because...
Well, you can do Eli Roth's Thanksgiving low budget. It's a slasher movie that's
a
throwback to 80s holiday slashers. Let's do it. Like,
you could. The question is whether or not...
Cost them $5 in Eli Roth's back massage or something. Like, that's all it's going to cost them.
Either Roth is like, does this movie come with a happy ending?
His wife will be in it, so maybe.
Who's his wife?
His wife is in like a bunch of, I don't know what her name is. She was in Green Inferno. She was in Knock Knock. She's the brunette in Knock Knock.
I don't know. I still need to watch Knock Knock.
It's not good.
I just want to see it.
Neither is Green Inferno, but I do want to see Eli Roth. Really hasn't done a traditional slasher that I can think of.
No, Hostel does not qualify.
And Hostel does not count. And,
Oh my God,
and Cabin Fever does not either. So yeah, I want to see.
Cabin Fever would be more of a virus movie. That would be more of a 28 Days Later anyway.
Yeah, so I want to see Eli Roth do a slasher movie. Let him do his Thanksgiving movie. But yeah, let's talk about Thanksgiving because that's why we're here. Thanksgiving is one of those movies I put on par with like The Room or Troll 2, except Thanksgiving went in knowing it was a bad movie, unlike those other two.
So this is one of those movies, again, where you don't understand how the concept of the star system works, and you would rate Thanksgiving at a 5 out of 5.
No. I think this is one of the lesser good bad movies.
But still.
This one would probably, honestly, this one probably gets the turd. Unlike this one gets a turd because there is some funny things in it.
Are you going to give like a quarter for every time you use something like that and give it to Andy because the turd is his whole thing?
The turd is not his thing. It's the guacamole and the tacos that are his thing.
His 0 stars is a turd.
Well, I know, but there's no, you can't. There's no such thing as a bad taco though.
Yes, there is.
What?
One that's got like sour meat or something like that. You've got you're the next day is not a fun day.
Maybe
that's a bad taco.
It's so a turd. I mean, Thanksgiving is like an hour long, schlocky, bad B movie, and it's cool that it's a horror movie set on Thanksgiving because there isn't a whole lot of those. There's a few set in the 80s. Blood Rage, I think, was one. I haven't watched it yet. I need to check it out. But yeah, I think Thanksgiving is just it's one of those movies you get a bunch of friends together, you drink a shit ton of beers beforehand, and then you watch Thanksgiving. Yeah, it's about I guess if people don't know what Thanksgiving is, it's about a killer turkey that kills a bunch of college-age kids.
So sad.
If that doesn't sell you, the opening scene of the movie is a pilgrim showing her boobs. That's the first shot of the movie.
However,
are you sold?
I decided while I was listening to you rave about
the turd of Thanksgiving.
The one of the worst movies ever on the planet. I decided to Google Thanksgiving movies to see if there's anything we didn't really think about.
I'm like, you watched one last year.
I did?
Yeah.
What did I watch last year? That was like a year ago.
I don't remember what it was called. It was about the girl who brings home her girlfriend from college.
Oh, was that Thanksgiving?
Yes, it was Thanksgiving.
That was a Thanksgiving movie. I recommend that movie.
What is it?
Lesbomb.
Lesbomb, that's what it is.
It has Kevin Pollak in it. It has Clarice Leachman in it. It has oh my god, guy from Police Academy. No, I actually highly recommend Lesbomb. It is actually a very, very, very well done independent movie. It's one of the ones we got here in Sioux Falls. I didn't have the chance to see it, but I was like, I want to see it enough. I found it when it came available on digital, and it's a good. I don't remember what it's rated at, but it is a very good movie. While I'm looking,
TV 14.
Really?
That's what it says. I don't know.
Are you on Rotten Tomatoes or something?
IMDb.
Oh.
I'm assuming it's probably PG-13.
It's maybe because it didn't have like a wide release, so it's considered TV rating based, whatever. Maybe.
Yeah, Steve Guttenberg.
That's it. Yeah, Steve Guttenberg.
Bruce Dern is in it.
Yes, Bruce. Oh yeah, Bruce Dern and Clarice Leachman play the grandma and grandpa. And Steve Guttenberg plays the stoner uncle who is trying to make money off, selling drugs kind of thing, and gets high as a kite in the downstairs basement and tries to set the house on fire.
Yeah, I remember because we got this movie right around Thanksgiving.
Yep.
It's about a closeted girl who's coming home to see her, wild and crazy family, like any other coming home movie set up, like any vacation movie.
And tries to basically tell the parents and everybody that she's a lesbian and whatnot by bringing her lesbian girlfriend there, but everybody thinks that her best friend, her black roommate, is the boyfriend and whatnot, and things go a little bit of a wire.
Shenanigans ensue. Yeah, I still want to check this movie out.
I do highly recommend it. I definitely do. I know that I didn't get a chance to get it watched until I think it was like February of this year, because it was one of the first things that I watched this year.
Yeah, I mean, even looking at the concept, because it's kind of a holiday comedy, they're all set on Christmas.
Yeah, usually.
Yeah, so it's like, why not set it on
I'm glad.
Thanksgiving?
I'm legit mad at myself and happy that you brought this up because I think this is a good, solid movie for someone to watch, especially for the unconventional Thanksgiving movie or holiday movie for that matter, because of the top subject at hand and all that stuff. And again, you're looking at like, hey, Steve Guttenberg is in a movie,
Gutenberg.
and he's the weird uncle, and he's gonna set the house on fire with his weed.
Is that just Steve Gutenberg in real life now?
I don't know. All I remember Steve Guttenberg from is like Short Circuit and Cocoon and Police Academy, and it's like, did he make anything in the 90s or the 2000s? I don't know.
Poor Steve Gutenberg.
And he's fun. I don't know why. Anyway, but no,
He did The Big Green in the 90s.
the what?
The Big Green.
Sure.
It was a Disney soccer movie. He was the coach
Maybe that's
with two of the kids from The Sandlot.
that doesn't tell me anything.
Squints and Ham, the catcher, the big redhead. Yeah.
Yeah. Not when you give me those names, then I can at least picture the people.
Yeah.
No, actually one of the ones I pulled up and I went to go see if I could find it online to go watch it because I want to see this again now because I haven't seen it such a longest time, is the movie Dutch. Which,
Arnold.
No. Ed
Isn't it?
O'Neill.
Oh.
This is
Why did I always think it was Arnold? What am I thinking
I
of?
don't know.
My parents had some movie that reminded me of.
What,
Not
Turner
Dutch.
and Hooch?
I don't know.
Dutch has got Ed O'Neill, and who plays the kid? Oh, it is a very, very, very young Ethan Embry. We're talking like 91, as it looks like. Yes, 91. Where Ed O'Neill is trying to get the kid back to home for, and again, shenanigans ensue, at one point, because I think he starts lighting off Roman candles or something like that off the side of a road or something like that. I couldn't remember to tell you a whole lot about this movie, but I do enjoy it because Ed O'Neill was still making, the headlining news because of being on Married with Children and whatnot. Ethan Embry looks like he's 12 in this thing. Holy cow. I didn't realize it'd been that long. But I enjoyed it. It's a very good fun movie. The downside is that unless you have Fubo, which is the sports streaming network thing like YouTube TV and stuff like that, it's nowhere. It's not even available to buy or anything. So I guess you're going to either have to try to find an old VHS copy.
I swear, like my grandparents had this movie,
I think I had it like
and
recorded
it's like
off,
stuck in my head
HBO.
it's stuck in my head that it was Arnold for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know how you get
don't know.
Arnold and Ed O'Neill
I have no idea.
and like try to picture how those become the same person.
I don't know. I don't know how my brain
Maybe
went to that.
you were so enthralled with Jingle All the Way for a Christmas movie.
That's probably what it was, because it was probably sitting right next to Jingle All the Way in their VHS movies.
the VHS.
Yeah. Let's jump to something. So this has nothing to do with the holiday of Thanksgiving in the movie itself, but one movie or series of movies that I watched every Thanksgiving growing up. We always went to Grandpa and Grandma's house, the same ones that had the VHS tapes. And if we weren't watching the football game, we'd switch to TNT because they were doing a Lord of the Rings marathon.
Well,
I don't know why they always did a Lord of the... I'm assuming they still do it. I'm not sure.
You make me want to Google and see
Yeah,
what it tells me.
let's see if it does, because I remember for some reason they always did a Lord of the Rings marathon. They just played all three movies throughout Thanksgiving Day, and it was like, yeah, we're watching Lord of the Rings on Thanksgiving. Why not?
Well, I just searched TNT and Lord of the Rings. The first thing comes up is AEW. I'm like, nope, that's not what I'm looking for.
Yeah, we that was, so I had watched, I think that was like my first exposure to Lord of the Rings, really. It was before I had actually watched the movies because they were on TV. And yeah, I would always catch just like bits and pieces of what's happening in Lord of the Rings. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. But now, after having watched them and then you're kind of going in and out of them, I think it's a fun little Thanksgiving tradition to do, is just Because for me, I don't watch sports. I don't care about the football game going on.
What? You don't what?
Or basketball maybe too. I don't know.
It's all football.
Is it football?
It's all NFL.
Oh, Christmas.
3
basketball.
games. It's all football.
Yeah. So I was always excited when it was a commercial break during the football. They'd switch to Lord of the Rings. Like, yeah, let's watch Lord of the Rings. Okay, all right, let's go watch the football game. Let's watch them bring it to Mordor. Did you find anything on
what?
on TNT? If it's
No, it listed the movie, but it didn't list anything about it or anything like that.
maybe I don't know. Maybe they don't do it anymore. We'll see.
I don't know. Look, hey, Esquire, 29 best Thanksgiving movies.
Yeah, I mean we can change the conversation because there's not a whole lot of more Thanksgiving movies to watch.
No, there really isn't. You've got mail. Speaking of Tom Hanks.
Yeah, I want to kind of jump into what is coming out this weekend that we might want to watch on Thanksgiving, because obviously we get it's a holiday. I think a big part of Thanksgiving for some people is going to the theater.
For me, that's actually a Christmas thing, but
Going to the theater on Christmas,
well, yeah,
or like Christmas break, or what?
no, Christmas Day, because then you'll have some of those like new release Christmas things, whatever. Heck, I'm pretty sure that's how I saw Beavis and Butthead Do America.
Perfect Christmas movie.
Perfect Christmas movie. That's how I saw Ollie in the theater. Was over Christmas. But no, I mean, I could see that. Bellies are full. Let's go do something. Let's get out of the house. Whatever. Blah blah blah. Let's go see a movie, kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this year is going to be a fun one for it. I'm gonna
go see Knives Out.
I kind of want to see Knives Out on Thanksgiving.
I'm gonna try to figure out how I'm gonna get to go see Knives Out. Definitely.
Yeah,
Brian Johnson's movie looks fantastic.
And another thing we're getting here in Sioux Falls, we're getting The Irishman in the theaters.
I know. Then I'm looking like I really want to.
I don't know if
it's
it's over Thanksgiving, but it's
on the 29th.
Okay.
So it's on that Friday.
Okay.
And that's where I'm like, I really want to see Knives Out. And by definition, I could theoretically wait because I know that Irishman is not going to be in the West Mall for very long. And that definitely looks like the kind of movie I want to see in the big screen. But I'm like, but Knives Out. But come on, that the premise, the actors, just everything about that movie looks great.
No, it looks like a fun whodunit. It's a perfect Thanksgiving movie.
It is a perfect Thanksgiving movie.
Yeah, I think it'd be a fun one to go watch on Thanksgiving. And The Irishman is something like I'm glad we're getting it in the theater. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it'd be cool to see it on the big screen. I think it might hurt some of the box office, the fact that it's on Netflix on Thanksgiving Day.
Oh, the Netflix doesn't even care that this is making money or not at the theater. It's only for the Oscar. That's the only reason why this is even happening.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Which is fine for us, because I'm like, all right, well, if you want to make an Oscar push and that's how we get it in the theater, do that more often.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only reason, because, you figure how many movies Netflix produces or puts out, wherever the case is. No, they're only going to push the movies to the theaters for the allotted amount of time the Academy will qualify them for. And they're not looking for the box office numbers. They can give two flying craps. Otherwise, they would do a wide release. They'd push it for the 4 weeks. I think what this is, literally the minimum requirement, because it came out, 2 weeks ago? Like New York, LA kind of thing. And I think it premieres, I think we might actually get it about the same time it premieres on Netflix.
Because what does it say on the calendar right behind my head for The Irishman? 20, I think that
well, you have
Thursday.
You have it for the 20. Yeah, you have it Netflix for the 28th, and we get it on the 29th.
Yeah.
So in theory, I could watch it at home and then go watch it.
Like, I already see this movie.
God, I already saw this at home. No, this Netflix is not doing this for the money. They don't care.
No, I'm glad that we're getting it. I think Netflix should do that more often. Put some of their bigger movies in the theaters like this. Like, even if it's for a week. Put it in the theater for 1 week, and
I think
you're going to make more money doing that, too.
I think they need to go the Amazon route, where, like, certain movies, wherever the case is, they're going to come to, like, it comes into Netflix on, like, say, November, but it had a theatrical run for 2 months or something like that in, like, July.
Well, yeah, I think they should do, even a 1 week theatrical release, and then the next week, right after, boom, drops on Netflix.
I think for the sake of
run it a Thursday night to the next Thursday, and then drop it on Netflix that Friday.
The only reason why I don't think, and maybe I'm completely wrong because I don't know enough about the background kind of thing, but at least from my understanding and knowledge experience of like how these theaters are getting the movies and stuff like that, I don't think for just a single 1 week window, I don't think it would pan very well because of the amount of energy involved to have to get the movies to them. The whole like everything is like encoded and encrypted and everything like that because they don't just get it in a download like what we do when we buy the movie off of, a streaming service or something like that. These theaters getting these encrypted hard drives.
Yeah.
So to have it for just to be able to send a whole bunch of hard drives to a bunch of theaters for 1 week, I don't know if it would necessarily be justified.
I don't know. Well, I'm not saying do it every single week, but do it like when you have the big ones, like The Irishman, and you had Roma last year. I'm trying to think of some of the other big ones on Netflix this year that they could have done.
They could have done that for Bright.
Yeah.
I mean, any one of those, it's like, hey, let's throw this, even without it being an Oscar contending movie, have a
special 1 week run, or even just do like I don't know if they
partner with Fathom events. I don't know.
Yeah, do something like that of Netflix events.
Netflix events.
They can do it. Yeah. So yeah, I think that would be really cool to see in the theater, The Irishman.
I think if you try to somehow attach the events, not outside of Fathom, like Netflix, people like they're everywhere. Nope, I'm boycotting.
I'd like to see it because then we get more stuff in the theaters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let's. I want to end it off with of course Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving is about food and it's also about us running over each other at shopping malls and shopping centers.
Are you gonna try to go to the store and try to buy some cheap movies?
That's what I'm gonna do. I usually go. So Walmart is not so like it's a crazy place to be on Black Friday, but it's a kind of a tradition at this point. Just go to Walmart, pick up maybe one or two movies.
Mine's Target, but same thing or
Yeah.
whatnot.
I'll usually go sneak into the movies, check out what they got, and then sneak out.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go venture. You go straight to the movies, eyes forward. You're hitting the movies, check them all out, go through that for 10 minutes, and then out the door.
I actually had because we're, at least for this year, we're about a week behind what Thanksgiving was. But I actually had a thing pull up on Facebook today. It was like 8 years ago, or whatever, right? Where it was like when I got my haul of the first 4 seasons of The Big Bang Theory for $10 each. I'm like, I'm proud of this. I put this crap on Facebook. That's what I'm actually kind of looking forward to, is because the series is no more and whatnot, but the last season is out, and I've always waited until Black Friday to go get my season of Big Bang Theory, because I've never paid more than $15 for, all these series are always like 30, 40, $50 when they come out and whatnot. I'm like, no, I see this up. Now I know what I'm going to pick up on Black Friday. I got to go get my Big Bang Theory. But yeah, I do the same thing where it's like, I think that's how I got, I don't know how many movies where it's like, this $6 or even better yet. I remember even last year I saw Ex Machina was on 4K for like $8 or something like that. I mean, really great price, right? I went to my phone. I'm like, but I can get on iTunes for 4K for $5. Okay. So I'll even use that sometimes, but
no, physical media all the way. That's why I go do this. It's cool. Like, I'm going to go check out. I mean, DVDs are kind of a thing of the past, so I'm always sticking to the Blu-rays. But, I mean, one year I came out with 30 movies, like, from Walmart in one haul.
Yeah, okay. Mine's not usually that bad. Maybe.
I spent, like, over $100 in movies.
Holy cow.
Yeah. But I got, 30 movies for, like, $100, so. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to plan on doing this year. Maybe hit Best Buy, too. I heard Best Buy's getting some good movie deals. That might be even crazier to try to get into our one Best Buy in Sioux Falls.
Our one Best Buy.
Yeah. At least with Walmart, there's 4 of them here. I can kind of maybe sneak into to the one closest to where I live. So I think I might be able to sneak in there, get some movies, and sneak out.
I need to find me a good price on, I don't know, John Wick 3.
Yeah. I think that's one I'm searching for.
Are there any movies that you're kind of looking for to try to see if hopefully maybe they get good deals on? Because usually, and that's the part that's funny, is like if you were to go to Target or you go to Walmart, you go to Best Buy, whatever the case is, it's usually the same plethora of cheap movies, where at that point you're just like, which one's got it the cheapest? Or even that point, that might be $1 more, but it's closer, I don't have to go clear across town, or that kind of thing. Is there anything you're kind of hoping that maybe will be on that list?
Yeah, John Wick is. John Wick 3 is one.
is already on.
Yeah, I'm looking for. I mean, I don't know if it's. I haven't. I should look at the ad actually. I'm looking for Midsummer. I need to get that from this year yet.
I don't think that's been on anything I've seen.
I don't think it is either. But sometimes I'm like, well, I'm here. I'm already buying movies. I'll just add it to the cart.
Yeah, that's true.
Just throw it in there. I'm here.
I remember I remember last year I was going Black Friday shopping and I didn't find anything for myself, but I found a $30 like Hot Wheels set for my kids. I'm like, but it says regularly $90. Well, I have to buy it.
I'm here.
I'm here.
Yeah, I'm always just curious to see what's there. I don't really plan anything beforehand. I just kind of show up, look through the movies, and pick out the ones that I don't have yet or wanted.
Yeah, I'm the kind of guy where if I go, it's not there, and I don't get it, I'm not like, oh man, I'm going to throw a fist because I didn't get that TV or I didn't get that movie that I wanted. If I don't, I don't. If I do, I do. No big deal. I'm the passive Black Friday shopper.
And maybe we'll take you along this year. I've been thinking about that. I kind of want to do a Facebook Live video. Be that guy.
And all of
What's up, guys? I'm Casey from Backlot 605. Here we are in Sioux Falls, South Dakota Walmart on Black Friday.
Best Buy guys like, you gotta put your phone away, sir.
Is that what he's gonna say?
I don't know.
We should do it. We'll figure it out.
Creed 2 Best Buy $3.99 on Blu-ray.
I think I have Creed 2 already.
Just saying. Yeah. I'm looking at the Black Friday on Best Buy's website. Just saying.
All right, so yeah, we'll figure something out for Black Friday. Mm-hmm. We'll do something because I think it's a pretty big movie night for us movie nerds that like to go out and search for movies.
I guess we'll see.
So yeah, let's wrap this show up. Let us know what you guys like watching on Thanksgiving. What are you guys gonna pick up on Black Friday? If you have any tips, send them our way.
Don't get mauled or don't get trampled. That's my tip.
That's your tip.
I have great stories from when I worked at Target way back in the day for Black Friday before the remodel. If
Did anyone die?
No, nobody died, but I certainly tell you, if there's one thing I will take for working retail when it comes to Black Friday, is the people watching. It's so much fun to watch some of these
even
people.
that's kind of why I like going.
I know.
I'm like, I'll look at the movies and then I'm like, God, these people are trying to get like $50 off their TV. I'm like, just go buy it next week. It's the same price.
Right.
Yeah, so let's wrap this thing up. We got to plug, of course, our usual shiznit that we got going on.
Shiznit.
Our shiznit. Of course, we need to.
I'm trying to be PG.
We're keeping it PG here. Frozen 2 is the number one at the box office. We got to keep it PG. We got to plug our live show, which is coming January 26, 2020 at Last Stop Studios on the east side. Last Stop CD Shop in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. That is from 3 to 5 p.m. Check out more information on our Facebook page. We have a Facebook event up for that right now. If you want any more information on it, go to there. It's a free event. We're going to be doing some prizes. We're going to be talking about our top 20 movies of the decade.
The decade?
The decade.
How big is a decade?
10 years, Brian.
10 years?
Yes.
Are we
We have to go back all the way to 2010, so Iron Man 2 can maybe make this list.
It could make this list.
It won't. No. All you Iron Man 2 fanboys.
No!
We also got to plug our next Sioux Falls Film Community Meetup. That is December 18th at Severance Brewing in downtown Sioux Falls from 8 to 10 p.m. We also have a Facebook event up right now for that. For more information, check out the latest episode of the Killer Countdown, in which co-host Blake Ginnathan takes on Corey Jacobson from Somewhat Random Movie Collection in Snowbound Horror movies.
Snowbound horror.
Yep.
Define a snowbound horror.
It has to have the majority of the movie set within snow.
Wow, you guys are stretching it here lately, haven't you?
No, well, I think I was surprised how many different options there were with that.
I don't remember the name of the movie. I just remember the cover art looks like the top half of a Nazi zombie's head sitting on the snow.
Dead Snow. That may or may not have made the list.
I just randomly pulling that crap off my head.
That's actually a pretty good movie, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, with considering the topic at hand, I think relatively good movie is probably subject to interpretation.
It is, as it always is, but it's actually a pretty decent horror movie. Also, check out Corey Jacobson at Somewhat Random Movie Collection on Instagram, and check out our buddy Andy. Heller from Fat Dude Digs Flicks on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Andy will be on the show very shortly because we'll announce it right now because I want to get this shit talking started right now. Andy Heller from Fat Dude Digs Flicks will be on in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks from this episode right now. He'll be on episode number 57. He will be doing a bracket alongside yourself, Brian. You will be on that. And we
know you're not going to be on the bracket because you don't watch, these kind of movies.
these kind of movies.
This kind of cinema. But who's Andy going against?
Andy, it'll be yourself, Andy from Fat Dude Digs Flicks, and Charlie Eccles, the professional wrestling announcer, the one and only from Midwest All Pro Wrestling.
Yes, the Wrestling Voice 1.
Yes, so Charlie will be back. He and Andy, there's been some shit talking going on just in our conversations between the two. I think this all stemmed from SuperCon this year.
We need to get that off of Facebook chat and into
that's why
the Twitterverse. And so come on, Andy, come on, Charlie, let's up the ante a little bit here. The public needs to see this.
The public wants to hear this, guys. It helped. Hearing Andy shit talk Billy Gunn in prep for SuperCon was amazing. We never got a response out of Billy Gunn, but we got a response out of Charlie Eccles on our live show at SuperCon. He stood up for Billy Gunn. He honestly put Andy in his place.
Really?
He put Andy in his place. He shot him down for all his shit talking. So we'll see who's going to play the heel and who's going to play the babyface here. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, but you know what's funny is that these two people have very boisterous
personalities,
and they can hold a mic each themselves.
Yeah.
I'm concerned that I'm going to get my ears blown. I'm just going to be sitting in the corner just cowering and hoping that I don't die.
Yeah, this is going to be WCW versus WWF, and Brian's going to be ECW sitting in the middle. We'll do our own thing over here.
Don't mind me.
Yeah, so let the shit talking begin, gentlemen. But we need to announce what the episode is going to be about.
What is the episode?
The episode will be a bracket style that we did at SuperCon and we've done before. It'll be The Rock movies. So Dwayne Johnson movies. The top 16 will be put in a bracket face to face, and we will determine what is the greatest Dwayne The Rock Johnson movie of all time.
I know, and I remember you talking about this bracket. I think maybe I need to go back and tweak your bracket.
No, I think the bracket's fine.
You put the Tooth Fairy at number 1.
Well, no, it's not.
Good.
I don't even think the Tooth Fairy's on that top 16 bracket. So
you made me nervous there for a minute.
Did you? I was not serious with the Tooth Fairy. That we will be doing a top 16 style bracket of Dwayne The Rock Johnson movies. Brian versus Fat Dude Digs Flicks versus Charlie Eccles. This is how it's going to go down, so let the shit talking begin, gentlemen. Brian, I don't know if you want to get in on this. I'd be scared.
I would lose. I would throw that first shade out there and be like, yep, I'm done.
Now you guys fight. You guys fight. All right, and with that being said, you guys can check this podcast out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, and YouTube, and you can find us on video on YouTube. That's how you will see our lovely, lovely faces. Thank you all again for listening. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And with that being said, you guys, we have a fun episode that we're doing next week. We're going to try this out. All the hip young kids are doing this.
What are the hip? Now you just make me feel even older. So what are the fun hip kids doing there now?
They're doing commentaries. This is what a lot of podcasts like to do. They like to talk about movies while they watch movies.
So how are we going to put this on video?
This we won't put on video.
I was like, I don't think we legally can.
No. The next episode it'll be back to audio for YouTube listeners and watchers. That is because we are going to be doing commentary for both of our favorite Christmas movie, A Christmas Story. Yes. So of course everybody has seen A Christmas Story a million times. Does a 24-hour marathon every single year.
Go to TBS.
Yeah. So instead of talking about why we love the movie, we're going to sit and watch the movie together and talk about it while we're watching it. So you guys that have seen it a million times like us, you're going to be able to put our audio commentary on over top of the movie and listen along with us.
So do I get to just basically, for an hour and a half, just be like, shut up, I'm watching this?
We'll be quoting it. Shut your eye out, kid. Yeah. So yeah, that'll be next week. A Christmas Story commentary is our episode. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's it. Thank you all once again for listening to the Backlot 605 podcast. And just drop a comment, drop a like, smash that subscribe button. on Facebook or on YouTube, and do it. Drop a comment right down there.
You can now do that. You'd be like, right down there.
Right there. There we go. My finger's in the right place now. For audio-only listeners, that probably sounded really weird.
It's right down.
It's right down there. My finger's in the right place right now. Anyway, thank you all once again for listening. Brian, give your sign-off as you're giggling.
Bye.
All right, thank you all again, and we'll see you next time on the Backlot of South Dakota.